Yo, what is up, party people? Are we good? Everyone alive? Everyone okay? Everyone still surviving, thriving, percolating? Sorry, one sec here. Hope everyone's doing good. Everyone's chilling. All right. So, what's up, people? Main here, back with another video. Gonna be obviously talking about the fucking markets. We've had a bit of a fucking dump since my last video. So gonna do my best to give you some of that fucking high quality hopium straight to the fucking veins, straight to the cabeza. And we'll see what we can do. I mean, honestly, we've got to look at the market objectively and deal with, kind of what's in front of us. As much as everyone wants everything to go up only, sometimes it doesn't go up. So you've got to prepare for both scenarios. So we'll talk about stuff we've been tracking. We're going to focus mainly on Bitcoin and Ethereum, obviously. But we'll look at some altcoins as well, because some alt BTC pairs are actually shaping up to be really good, really strong, really solid. A couple of which I've shared on Twitter. So before we get into anything, shout out to Bybit for sponsoring the video. Working with Bybit for a little while now. Great exchange. One of the exchanges I actively use to do my leverage trading on Bitcoin and various altcoins. They do have new perp contracts out on Bybit now for Aave, Sushi, XEM, and XRP. So USDT perps on those pairs and more. And they're still doing their 7-day challenge. I talked about this in the last video. So all you have to do is sign up with the link in the description. And you can take part in the challenge. It's going on for another 5 days, I believe. And you can win some money. So you can win some money just by joining the challenge, doing trading as you normally would. There's no restrictions on what pairs you have to trade or anything like that. So I've left a link in the description with information about that. So if you're interested in joining Bybit and taking part in this challenge, you can get some free money. And who doesn't love that? Especially right now. We all need a little bit of extra free money, right? So check it out in the link in the description. If you got any questions, you can DM me, hit me up on Twitter or Discord. I'll give you some more information about it. With that being said, let's get into the fucking charts, because that's what we're all here for, right? So obviously, what is the flavor of the day? What is the flavor of the month? Everyone's pissed off at Elon right now, right? We all hate Elon Musk. We all hate one of the, if not the richest guy in the world, because he's not tweeting about our sweet, sweet baby boy Bitcoin anymore. And he's been tweeting about Dogecoin, and everyone is saying, okay, Elon is the reason we're dumping, and Dogecoin is going to go to the dollar, and Tesla has sold all their Bitcoin, and blah, 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 blah. Here's what I know for sure. What I know for sure is that Elon Musk's PR person is definitely like fucking got his phone out and is like, shut the fuck up, Elon. Stop tweeting so much. What the fuck are you doing? Shut the fuck up. That's definitely going on. Because Elon admitted himself that he's got Asperger's and that he's bipolar, and he goes through like crazy mood swings. And today he's like on some sort of manic bullshit where he's just posting all sorts of fucking noise on the feed. I don't think it's a good look for him at all, But at the end of the day, Bitcoin was here before Elon. and Bitcoin will be here even if Elon leaves. Obviously, would I rather have one of the richest people in the world, being an advocate for Bitcoin? Of course. But we don't need him. And at the end of the day, I don't think he's going anywhere either. I do think that Elon still believes in crypto. I don't personally think that Tesla has sold all their Bitcoin. If they have, he tweeted, responding to that crypto whale guy, who's a scammer, by the way. That's that Randy guy, that they might sell it or something. I'm pretty sure that's like super illegal, sketchy to be tweeting out about shit going on the Tesla balance sheet before it's public information. So who knows? But all I know is Elon's publicist is having a field day and probably rage quitting at this very instant. And, we move on. We continue on. We focus on the charts. We try and ignore the noise. And I'm not one of the people to be like, I'm not like, I think fundamentals and news definitely can drive price movement. But it was abundantly clear that price was going to be going down based on the charts before the Elon tweets, before any of that bullshit. It was in the charts. And the reason I can say this confidently is because it's something we've talked about for the last 3 streams, how daily market structure has been bearish. We're expecting a lower high, and we're expecting a pullback. We were expecting all those things. All of those were based purely on the technicals. They had nothing to do with Elon. They had nothing to do with anything. They had nothing to do with Michael Saylor. They had nothing to do with nothing. It's just the chart. And that's kind of my domain. That's where I consider myself an expert. I'm not here to fucking try and analyze Elon Musk's mental fucking state and whether or not he's, giving us clues about whatever. I don't give a shit at the end of the day, because as much as I'm participating in the memes, all I care about is making money, right? And I care about making money. And I like taking trades at key levels where I think I have an edge to potentially make some fucking money. I don't give a shit about anything else. So it's fun to meme. It's fun to yell at Elon. Fuck Elon, But like, we loved Elon a few months ago, right? Remember like 6 months ago, whatever it was, when Elon bought like $1 billion worth of Bitcoin through Tesla? We loved Elon. Everyone was loving Elon. When Elon would just post random memes about Bitcoin and shit, we were loving Elon. Now we hate Elon, right? Like, who fucking cares? If you're making your trading decisions based on all of this kind of Elon bullshit, you're not going to make it, bro. You need to make decisions based on the information that you have reliably in front of you. And until you have reliable information from some sort of fundamental catalyst, like, I think maybe Elon's news and shit like that might expedite the move, but it's not the cause of the move, right? So, that's kind of my 2 cents on it. Fuck Elon, on the gang, fuck him. Who really cares, right? Like, if he's with us, sweet. If he's against us, sweet. I don't really care. At the end of the day, this move was in the charts. We talked about it. I talked about it. I fucking mapped out, the entire fucking move in advance with short triggers, plans, invalidations, and I still fucking fucked it up, right? So that's how trading works. I've been doing this for fucking 7+ years now, and I still make mistakes. And it just shows you that trading and analyzing the market are 2 very different things. Where it's very easy to say, hey, we're going to make a lower high and then we're going to go down, because that's what I said. But when we actually make that lower high and we're really close to all-time high, all of a sudden you start feeling bullish. The whole Twitter feed is bullish. Everyone's bullish. Oh, we're going back up to up only. It's back to the super cycle and all this shit. So, it is what it is, but I missed the short up top there. So now it's like, okay, what are we going to do now? Where's the next trade? Where can I make some fucking money? And let's go do that, because the focus of these streams primarily is education. It's helping you all out to, find key price levels in your own charts and then make decisions in your own charts based on technical analysis. And the beauty of it is we can trade it both ways. If it goes up, we can make money. If it goes down, we can make money. Of course, it's great and it's easier when everything is going up. Everyone prefers up only, no doubt. But what you're going to realize is these things that I share with you, they work both ways, right? Kind of like, you know, you can play both sides of the game. You don't have to be a long only person, right? And if you are only interested in longs, there's tons of charts that look bullish. Bitcoin's just not one of them. But there's alt BTC pairs, there's alt F pairs, right, that look bullish. Like if you are only interested in longing, there's stuff out there to long, right? But Bitcoin doesn't look that bullish. So that's just a fact that we have to come to. I'm going to quickly rehash the short that played out. And I know this is hindsight, and everyone's going to say, oh, it's hindsight, it's already happened. But if you've been following these streams, if you've been in my Discord, which is free, you can join, link in the description. If you've been following my tweets, I talked about this exact setup like on April 22nd, where we broke daily market structure. I said the next move up is a lower high and it's a short. I talked about the weekly swing failure pattern. I talked about where we want to enter. All of that shit was laid out in advance. So it's not hindsight. I'm just going to be covering it now that it's played out. And I'm going to be completely honest. I did not go all into Tether at the top. I did not short the fucking top. I didn't do either of those things. Unfortunately, I wish I did, because that would be fucking sick. But it is what it is. I analyzed it properly. I did not execute on it properly, but I think there's still value in going over it, sharing it with you guys so you can fucking, kind of see my thought process. And now that it's happened, you can see how I was able to kind of predict this move happening. And hopefully next time I don't fuck it up. So with that being said, let's get into the fucking charts. What cycles do I got to do to get that neck girth? This is all natural. I've never done steroids. Where's the Discord link? It's in the bio. It's in my Twitter bio. Go to my Twitter, go into the bio, click on one of my yats, and it will take you to the Discord. It's on my Twitter bio, not in the in the video. Okay. It's on my Twitter, guys. On my Twitter. Okay. It's not a Telegram. All right, so let's get into it. If you got any questions, hit them up in the chat. I will do my best to stay on top of the chat, but as you guys know, y'all get fucking wild. You're a bunch of wild boys in the chat, and sometimes it becomes a little hard to manage, but I'll do my best. Okay, so what the fuck happened, right? So I talked about this in my last video, right? I said, here's our weekly range. I talked about this ages ago, okay? I don't need to prove myself that I called this, because I did, but I didn't make any fucking money, so does it really even matter? This was the weekly range I've been talking about, and basically the key things that we've been looking for, right, are a break in market structure on the weekly to the upside or to the downside to denote what the fuck is going to happen. And I think if we had a break in market structure to the downside on the weekly, that would probably signal a prolonged bear trend to much lower prices. As long as we held above this low, that doesn't mean we can't wick below, right? But this was essentially the plan from like 2 weeks ago. Wick below here maybe into this weekly demand, right? Tag it, reclaim, boom, we're back to up only or at least sideways, whatever. Obviously a weekly close above here, and I think we're going exponentially higher, right? Now, there's a couple ways to look at this, and I'm going to explain the way that I look at it, and you have to realize that market structure, how you determine it, is actually kind of up to you. It can be a little bit subjective, but the way that I look at market structure is more bullish for Bitcoin than how some other people might look at it, so we're going to stick with that for now. So the way that I denote market structure is if you have a move up like this, the low that caused the break in market structure before the next move, that is your higher low. So to maintain this bullish uptrend, price can do this, but as long as it maintains this low, it can go up and the bullish market structure has been maintained, okay? Now, some people will use the wicks to denote market structure. Some people will use candle closes. I am in the latter party. I use candle closes. So when you're looking at market structure, if we do this, but then this high is just a wick. This is my market structure low, not this one. And this is relevant because that's the exact situation we have right here, where this is the last swing low on the weekly that generated a new high with a candle close above the high. So the market structure on the weekly is this range right here. Now, if you were to use the wicks to denote your market structure, this would be the swing low, okay? This would be the swing low because it caused a higher high here. So even though this was a wick, if you're using the wicks, this is your weekly market structure. That's now been broken. So if you're using this as your weekly swing low, we've broken market structure on the weekly already. That is really fucking bad. Bad, 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 bad. But now if you do it how I do it, market structure on the weekly is still intact because this high, none of these highs, broken closed above here. Therefore, this is my weekly market structure low that I'm paying attention to. And as long as we don't get a weekly close below there, weekly market structure is still bullish to me. The issue with this is twofold. One, if you would have used this one, right, you could argue that, you got this short already and you're way closer to, price is way higher. We're still like in the 50K range here when we broke market structure. Whereas if we break market structure here, the retrace is not going to be way back up here. It's going to be a lot lower. The other issue is this is the weekly. It takes a long ass fucking time to play out, right? So unfortunately, the weekly might break and then give you a retest and we're at 48K and it's like, well, the top was 64K. We're way off the high. But the high time frame takes the longest to move, right? Obviously. So if the market structure is going to shift bearish on the weekly chart, that change in structure is going to be visible on the lower time frames first. And that's where we're going to get into how I nailed this short idea. But you can do market structure however you want to do it. The way that I do it, we're still technically bullish, which is great if we're, dealing in hopium here, which we obviously are. But you have to be consistent with it. So if you want to do it like I do it that way every time. If you want to do it the other way, go ahead, but stay consistent with it. As long as you stay consistent with it, that's all that matters. Will you miss some trades? Yeah, right? You might miss a trade because someone else does it differently, but you need to have a system. And the whole idea, right? Systems, right? Systematic, right? Repeatable. So you have to have you got certain things in your system, your trading system have to be constant. Because if you're collecting data from this system, how many longs you take, how many shorts you take, what is the setup, what is your profitability, what is your strike rate, blah, blah, blah. All of these data points that you're collecting from your trading, right? They're only relevant if there was certain constants involved in the situations that then led to those data points, right? But if you take 10 trades where you do market structure this way, and then 10 trades where you do it the other way, and then you try and make analysis on a 20 trade sample, that doesn't make any fucking sense because you changed the rules halfway through, right? So you have to have certain things constant. However you want to do it is up to you. I'm not here to tell you what to fucking do, but you have to do things the same way if you want your data to be fucking relevant, right? So, weekly market structure, technically still bullish per my rules. Now, what I did not like is a few things. I did not like that we broke this weekly low. It's not a market structure break, but we broke a key weekly low. Never good. You don't really, in an uptrend, you don't want to look at how we never really broke weekly lows with a candle close through, right? SFP, right? Never broke weekly lows really on this way up here. Okay? And we had this fat swing failure pattern, right? And this thing basically played out as clean as it gets, right? Big SFP, return to the origin, and fucking dumperoo. So now we're going to zoom into the daily, and we're going to talk about how I was able to kind of expect that the weekly market structure may shift, and if it does, it's going to be visible on the lower time frames first. And what do I mean by that? If I'm expecting downward price action, even though the weekly is still bullish, the daily might be flipped bearish, the daily might be still bullish or neutral, but there's going to be the lower time frames are going to shift first. So if we're going to see, when we saw this dump, here and this here, the signs of exhaustion and bearishness started on the lower time frames first and then built their way up. So first you have like an H1 market structure break, then H4, then daily. Next would be the weekly. So weekly, still bullish per my rules, but weekly SFP, weekly swing low broken. Not a good sign, right? The next clue that we had was on the daily. And this is where my short idea played out just as I'd predicted, but unfortunately, I did not execute it on it properly. So as much as I can go on Twitter and retweet my old tweets and say, I fucking told you so, which I've done, by the way, because if I'm not making money, at the very least, I need some fucking clout. I need the fucking clout, boys. I need it. I need that shit. I need the likes. I need the dopamine. Oh, I just got fucking lemon juice in my eye. Oh, I'm getting diced. Anyways, I didn't make any fucking money on it, right? I did not execute on it, but it's still good to talk about it so you can learn, right? Because there's lessons to be learned here in hindsight, whether or not that's how you fucking learn. You go back and you see what happened and you see how you could identify it, right? So what did we have on the lower time frame here? Well, using my same market structure theory here on the daily, this is your low and this is your high. Why? Because this is the last swing low that generated a higher high that closed above the previous high. So on this date, we had a break in daily market structure. This was all the way back on April 21st. We broke daily market structure. So let's assume that it's over for a second and we do this or some shit. Let's just speak hypothetically here. This is going to be when the weekly market structure breaks. Well, where was your clue? The daily broke first, right? And then the daily is now putting in another lower low, right? So the daily market structure is flipped bearish before the weekly market structure has flipped bearish. And then once the weekly market structure flips bearish, right, it's going to be way off the top, but it was going to be more obvious on the lower time frames first. So I talked about this. Go back on my tweets late April. I did 2 videos on it. I did multiple YouTube videos. I did multiple tweets on it. I talked about it in Discord. I said, listen, I love up only, but we've broken daily market structure for the first time in this entire run. We had broken daily market structure to the downside. Okay? And so I said very clearly, any sort of bounce is a short. Unfortunately, I tried to short here, right? Stopped. I tried to short here, stopped, and then I did not short here, and this is the one that ended up playing out. Why did that happen? Because I was sticking to my plan, got stopped out, and then I'm going, oh fuck, maybe we are going up, which is usually, no, actually this is the fucking top, and then it fucking rolled over. So I got sucked back into the fucking up only bullish bullshit, and I fucked myself out of a fucking Pico top short, but it is what it is, right? So the daily gave us the clue that this was going down. We had the deviation above previous all-time high, which is exactly what happened here. Deviation above the high, back test, sell off. Deviation above the all-time high, back test, sell off. Daily broken market structure, okay? And then we had our classic ICT trader main special short right into the OTE of the move. Boom. We had a perfect short setup right into the OTE. We had an SFP right into the OTE, right into daily bearish order block. This is like trader main short 101, but I didn't take it. So fuck me, whatever. So the daily flip bearish, it gave us the clue way back in April. And what happens is this pushes up to a point where you start questioning that bearishness, right? So you're like me, you're like, we're looking for shorts. Short failed. Oh, maybe it is going to go up, and then it sells off. And it can do the exact same shit here, where we're like, okay, maybe the bottom is in, and then as soon as you think it's fucking going back up again, then it sells off again, right? That's usually what happens, and usually it happens right around the fucking OTE, right? That 62 to 79% retracement. That's usually right where it will push up just to squeeze you right in the fucking gonads and make you question everything before selling off hard. It is what it fucking is. I missed the trade. What were the clues to get short other than what I've just talked about on the daily? Well, in this consolidation, you can see we had multiple swing failure patterns, right? So failure to hold above this high. And if you zoom in, you can actually see, again, market structure shifts on the low time frame first. So what I just showed you up on the daily, look at what you can see on the H4. Deviate above the level, fail to reclaim, break market structure, pull back into the bearish order block, and sell off. What was the trigger? This was your trigger right here. Here's your fib, right into the OTE, boom. So the market structure that was shifting on the daily was shifting on the low time frame on the H4 right at the fucking level where you're looking for that daily short. And you can go even further in on here, and you can dial this down to fucking any level that you want, and you can see the market structure shift earlier and earlier. On the hourly, there's your break in market structure. There's your pullback into the hourly bearish order block. That's your short trigger. Here's a break in market structure on the hourly here. Here's your pullback into your daily or your hourly bearish order block. There's your sell-off. And so you can zoom in and take multiple trades. You can get in if you miss this, but this confirms the trend. Once we had that H4 bearish break, you can get in on the low time frame and scalp shorts all the way down because you're now in line with high time frame order flow. You know that the daily is bearish. You know that the H4 is bearish. You know that the hourly is bearish. So you can be on the 5 minute shorting swing failure patterns, shorting bearish order blocks because you're in line with the high time frame flow. So I missed the high time frame entry, but it doesn't mean that you can't get in after the fact. Once you know, right, once we had this rejection, there was opportunities to get short in the subsequent days before we had this bigger sell-off here. So it is what it is, man. I missed the trade. I'm not super happy about it, but we move on and we look for the next fucking trade, right? Because there's nothing I can do. I can't go back in time and short fucking 60K. It's already happened. So the daily market structure is bearish as fuck. We have our break in market structure 1. We have our pullback to the OTE. We have another break in market structure here, right? This low that generated the lower high, we've broken that. So as much as we might get some relief right now, which it feels like we're going to get, like we might get some relief, this shit might fully nuke back, right? Like this might just be a little bit of a bounce and we might just fucking do this from here. I don't know. We've got the weekly close in an hour. It'll be interesting to see what price does around the weekly close. Ideally, right, the dream scenario is that we get a little bit of a bounce, right? We broke daily market structure, big pullback, leg down. This leg can go further, right? It doesn't have to pull back from here. It can go further, and then it can give you a pullback, and then it can sell off again, right? So for now, if we're looking at the daily, we have to be focused on shorting bounces. That's just the way it is. The market structure is bearish. Looking to bid high time frame support is a different conversation. We'll talk about that in a second. But from just like a day trading perspective, if you're looking to be in scalps, shit like that, the daily market structure closed yesterday as another breakdown, right? So the next bounce that you get, the high odds trade is a short, not a long. Now, can we be longing here because it's high time frame support? Of course you can. This is just kind of more of like a trading perspective that I'm giving you right now. If we get a bounce, the day trading perspective is you're hunting shorts on that bounce, okay? Same as we were here. What is it? It's a fucking bear flag, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? Breakdown, bear flag, breakdown, bear flag, right? That is the expectation for now. I don't know if that's going to happen. This could be the very bottom and we could just V-reverse. Anything is possible. I'm just giving you my bias. Right now, my daily market structure bias is bearish. So all of the time frames below that, if we're gonna flip bull, those low time frames need to give me bull signals. But if I get like an hourly uptrend here, right, and then I get an hourly break in market structure, I'm shorting it because I'll be in line with the daily order flow. Does that make sense? I'm just spitting a bunch of fucking facts and knowledge at you guys. Hopefully this is fucking sticking. All right. Just gonna go through the chat here real quick, try and get caught up, and then we'll get back on with the charts, guys. Sorry. Hopefully the bottom is in, baby. The neck lord, let's go. Rock on. We're dumping since the mustache is gone at 60K. Please bring it back. I haven't shaved since I shaved the mustache by accident. I'm doing my best. It doesn't grow very fast. Howdy, bottle of red on the go at 2300. How are ya? I'm doing good, Dr. J. How are you? Damn bears working hard to keep that downward channel. Yeah, fucking bears. Fuck bears. They've got tiny cocks. Okay. What's up? What's up? The next shall save us. I'm doing my best, guys. Ada and Matic are recovering the strongest. These are now my only holdings. Yeah, now's the perfect time to be finding altcoins that are remaining resilient. We're going to get into a section about altcoins, and I'm going to explain how there's still opportunities to long in this market, even if Bitcoin is going down. So yeah, we will talk about those. Any new meme coins? Maybe. We shall get strong support around the neck. Let's hope so. What is the challenge about? It's a trading challenge. You deposit some money based on your P&L. You can get paid out in prizes in cash. Everyone wants cash. Give hopium. I'm going to do my best. I'm here for the neck. Happy to have you for the neck. Hopefully you stay for the TA. I'm here for the Elon yelling. Hopefully that was sufficient. I didn't go too hard on the boy, but I had to give him I had to slap him around a little bit, Thanks for being you, man. Thank you for saying that. That's very nice. Bull market over, sell everything. Don't listen to this guy. I don't know about others. I'm not mad about the dump. I used to respect him, and it sucks that he's so unstable. So I don't really care about Elon as a person. I don't really give a shit. Get us to Mars, fucking make electric cars. I don't know. Elon doesn't really affect my day-to-day life, but when he's out here tweeting a bunch of nonsense about a space that I make my living from, and it causes people to freak out and dump and pump and dump and whatever, then I'm like, fuck you, dude. Leave me alone. Get the fuck out of here. But yeah, I don't really care about him as a person, to be honest with you. Shiba, 50% since the bottom. Sweet. Maine, the psychanalyst. Psychanalyst? I don't know. Are you trying to make me say a bad word? Yeah, fuck Crypto Whale. Fuck that Randy scammer. He's got me blocked anyways. Should I sell my Ether? I don't know, bro. What the fuck? I'm not here to tell you what to do. Do whatever you want. Okay. Rune has been super strong. We're part of the Rune army. Thor gang for life. Okay. Some of y'all are fucking going ham. Okay, I am from Canada, yes. Okay. Does everything I say make sense, right? I went through a lot of shit. So hopefully all of that shit made sense to you guys, because I think there was some valuable information there about market structure, and how to use market structure and high time frame market structure specifically to frame your trades on lower time frames. Hopefully that fucking makes sense. Okay, so let's talk about where the high time frame bottom can form. Okay, because that's obviously what everyone's interested in, right? So I just kind of gave you like a trader's perspective, right? The trading perspective is obviously, you know, market structure is bearish. We need market structure on the high time frame to flip bullish. What does that mean? Right now, the swing high that forms the lower low, right, is right here. So if we can get a daily close through here, that will be a really good sign that we might be going up higher, right? But for now, right, the market structure that broke here, okay, it got broken from this swing high. So this is a key level here for Bitcoin on the upside, 50,000, 51,500 essentially. Okay, now where the fuck is the bottom gonna form? Where should I be bidding? Blah, 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 blah. So couple levels of interest here. So I posted this chart in Discord and on Twitter ages ago, right? So my key levels are kind of like into here. I'm gonna use this. We gonna use this. Okay, my key levels are here, okay, here, and here. These are my key levels of support, high time frame for Bitcoin. Reason being, right, this is the a weekly close and a weekly open, and it's kind of like the bottom of this range effectively. So if I were to pull my fib from here to here, from here to here, right, this would line up kind of near right about the 50% of this range. And if I pull my fib from here to here, right, which is that weekly range we've been talking about here, right, this is a key area of interest for me to potentially hold. And these levels can be great. You know, if you go look at here's a perfect example of why opens and closes can be good key levels. Y'all remember this pump here? This is the weekly or the monthly open or the monthly close and the monthly open of the all-time high in 2017. And like this is right where we fucking topped out. Right around there, right? So they can be key levels, and as you can see, right, close below, next month, boom. And if you zoom in, right, you'll see that this level is obviously an interesting level as price does want to interact with it, right? So it consolidated right below, closed above, fucking launched, right? So this is an interesting level for me where we are right now. The next interesting level is going to be one of the previous all-time highs, right? So the all-time high that we had here before this big pullback, that is going to be a level of interest to me. And then this is the start of a weekly bullish order block, right? So this down move is the one that generated this move up. So this is going to be an interesting area for me as well. So in terms of like high time frame, where could the bottom form? Ideally, somewhere here or here. That's my dream scenario. What I don't want to see is a weekly close below here. That is my weekly market structure right here, right? The low that generated the high. So I don't want to see a weekly close below. What is the low here? 43,171 on Bitfinex. I don't want to see a weekly close below here. This weekly candle looks so ugly right now. It's insane. But you can already see we're wicking into this level. Hopefully we close back above here, get a little relief. But you can't look at this and think that this is bullish, right? Because it's not. But these are areas where I could see high time frame, bidding occurring, right? So this close here, this high, and this weekly order block. So my ideal situation is either this, right, where like the bottom is in here, or we have a quick move down into here, and then we go up. Maybe we tag this, right? So maybe it comes a little lower. But that's it. I don't really want to see us go below here. Like maybe we come and tag this one, I guess. But I mean, I don't really want to see any sort of weekly close below here. And I don't really want to see price spend any significant time below 42,000, which is essentially, you know, this high right here. Because if we start getting into a realm where this is the previous all-time high, if we start trading below here, this becomes a big deviation and we're probably entering a bear market. It doesn't mean that we're going to be in a bear market for 3 years, but we could have a multi-month bear market pull back before we have continuation of the uptrend, right? We could have, you know, maybe we go down and sideways until the summer is over and then we get bullish again in the fall, right? We have to prepare for all scenarios. But these are the areas of interest for me where I would like to see price show support, right? So this is kind of essentially, I would say 42 to 45 is your first area, right? So basically 42 to where we are right now. And then the next area of interest to me would be kind of this, you know, high 30s, kind of like 38 to 40 area. These would be my two areas where I'm like, please God, let the bottom form here. Let's just go up. Let's all make a bunch of fucking money and let's not have to press the red button for a while. That's obviously I want that to happen, right? I want us to go up. I would much rather us be going up continuously to 100K and beyond as opposed to some sort of sideways bearish bullshit cycle. Now, can we look into the past and see other areas where we can compare this to? So some of the things that I've seen a lot of I see a lot of tweets about you know, what a top looks like, right? And you know, generally what we've had for previous tops is, right, big blow off the top, sell off, right? Like that's kind of the general top. And I've seen a lot of people tell me, they're like, or say like, you know, this doesn't look like a BTC top because it doesn't look like the 2017 top. They've only been here for one cycle, or they've only just zoomed out and looked back one previous cycle and say, well, this doesn't look like the top that we saw on, you know, 20K. It might not look the same on the time frame that you're paying attention to it on, right? Like on the weekly here, we had this big run up, bang, it was over, right? But if you look on the monthly, right, like this could be it, right? Like you have to keep that in mind, right? We have a big fucking ass move up on the monthly, big wicks at the top, maybe we get one more complacency shoulder and then it's over, right? So that can totally fucking happen. You can't just say because it doesn't look exactly like this top, this isn't the top. The monthly could look exactly like this if we're not careful here, right? Like that's exactly what could happen. The weekly looks like, and even the daily, right? This looks like your Wyckoff distribution, right? This looks like the Wyckoff distribution, right? Where you have, you know, your UTAD or your spring, your UTAD, jump the creek, whatever. Like this looks like Wyckoff distribution. That's not something I study, so I'm not here to tell you if it's perfect. I'm not doing the volume analysis. So just because it doesn't look like the blow off the top that we had in the past, it doesn't mean it can't be the top. But this could just be distribution, right? And then we have some sort of down cycle, right? And then reaccumulation, and then maybe in the fall or something, you know, we have another go. And then we have another go and make a new all-time high. You know, like anything can fucking happen. Like the problem with trying to make these fucking bold predictions, right? Because the reason people do this, they go like, oh, this is Wyckoff. We're going to do this. And then we're going to go here. And then we're going to do this. Because they want to be able to retweet this if it happens and be like, look at what I fucking did. I fucking called it. Boom, boom, boom. Right? That's why people post these kind of charts. Or whatever. And I do it too. Whenever I say like people, as if I'm talking about people on CT, I include myself in that group. I am just as guilty, and I'm a filthy clout farmer. I'm in the dirt farming for clout every single goddamn day. So when I say the people, I am part of the people, okay? But it's for clout, right? It's to be able to retweet it and fucking say, I told you so. Because if this happens, that person who drew this, they're just not going to retweet that tweet. It's just going to fall off the timeline, never to be seen again. But if it does happen how they said it's going to happen, they're going to retweet it and say, give me some fucking love. I'm the fucking man. And I'm the same fucking way. Go look at my feed. I'm in the backyard with a fucking shovel planting clout seeds all goddamn day. So anything is fucking possible, right? But the problem with these situations is A, they're generally just saying, hey, if this fucking works, I'm going to retweet it so I look smart. B, oftentimes when you do something that's so high time frame and zoomed out, you lose sight of it in the day-to-day price action where you're actually making decisions. And then as much as you might have called the move, you don't end up fucking trading it properly. And then who fucking cares? Like if you called for this, but you didn't fucking short here and then long here, right? Like who cares, right? Like who gives a fuck that you called it, right? You didn't make any money. And that's exactly what I'm talking about with me being like, oh, look, I called this daily move here, but I didn't short it. So at the end of the day, I might look sweet on Twitter. People might be like, wow, this guy's great at analyzing shit, but I didn't make any fucking money. So who really cares at the end of the day? So for all the people who are like trying to predict what's going to happen 10 steps ahead, more power to you. Go ahead and do it. I hope you're right, but make sure that you follow the fucking plan that you made and then actually execute on it if that's the case. Because it's all fine and dandy to call this a top and say we're going to 30K and then we're going to all-time high. Well, then you better fucking be bidding at 30K, right? Or else what the fuck was the point of that prediction if you didn't fucking make any fucking money or do anything with the analysis, right? So, anyways, I got completely off track there. So does this look like a typical top? I guess you could say no. I mean, on the weekly, the daily and shit, it doesn't look like your typical top. It kind of just looks like a fucking over-under, right? Failure to reclaim this level, sold off. But, you know, who knows? Like on the previous high, can I go back this far? Yeah. Like on the previous high, I mean, this is no different, right? Like this is just an over under. Right? Over, under, boom. So who knows? What I think the best thing to kind of situationally compare this to is there's two. I think we're either here. So I think we're there's two kind of ideas. These are bullish hopium fractals that I'm kind of watching right now, okay? So bullish hopium fractal number one is that we are in like July 2017, right? So we're in the start of a fucking mega fucking bull run. Mega. We're still relatively early, which I don't know about that part, but who knows? And we're like here, right? So we had this big move up from the lows, crazy parabolic move, sideways, massive fucking shakeout, and then, you know, boom, resumption of the trend. Timing wise, kind of similar. I mean, we're in May right now, so not quite the same, but you know, maybe this is where we are now, right? We're in this kind of structure here, and we're gonna see a big fucking dump. This is the shakeout before the inevitable continuation of the moon mission. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Okay? The other scenario that I see is here. Is that we are in the 2013 hype cycle, which was the double bubble, right? So we had the bubble, then the fucking, you know, long sideways, and then the double bubble, and then another bear market, right? So this wasn't a bear market as much as it was kind of reaccumulation before another leg up. So you could argue, right? I don't know who you'd be arguing with, but that we just saw this massive, you know, parabolic leg to 60K, okay? Huge shakeout, and then a prolonged period of kind of sideways and down over the summer. This one lines up very well timing-wise, right? The top is in April, right? Then for the next like 5 months, we kind of just go sideways and then go crazy again. those are kind of my two bullish hopium fractals, either July 2017 or we're in kind of like, May 2013. Those are my two hopium fractals. Either way, they would lead to us making new all-time highs. Alternatively, it's over. And that's something that we have to pay attention to, right? It could be over. Where, the top didn't look as clean as this, where it's a blow off and then a pullback and then a super clear retest. But, at the end of the day, if the top is in, you can't say that it didn't look bearish. The one argument that a lot of people are making is it's like, okay, well, tops happen very quickly. The price action is like super sharp and quick, right? Like you're going to see all-time high and it's gone, right? And then it's over. It's over. Where it seems like here we've had a long-ass time to sell, but at the end of the day, who sold here? Not that many fucking people. And like, yes, this is giving you a long time to get out. Everyone's like, oh, you don't have time to get out at the top. It's been too long. Well, who fucking sold here? Did you? Most people did not. I can tell because I'm looking on Twitter and everyone's freaking the fuck out. If everyone tethered up at 60K because it was so fucking obvious, no one would be shitting their shorts right now, right? So, who knows? But it's not bullish. That's the bottom line. It's not bullish here. We need some bullish structure to return. So to bring all of this to a close with Bitcoin, daily market structure is bearish. We are anticipating at some point to get a bounce. If we get a bounce, we have to be watching for weakness because that weakness is a short signal. It's exactly what we said here. So the plan has not changed. We broke market structure. If we get a bounce, we need to look for weakness. What does weakness look like? Swing failure patterns, low time frame, bearish market structure. So if this rallies, if we get any SFPs, if we get any low time frame bearish market structure, you need to look to short here because we'll probably get another leg down. Okay? In terms of areas that I'm bidding high time frame to look for a potential bottom to form, we will find them. I wish there was a back in time button where I could just zoom to exactly where I fucking want to. Why are you doing this to me? It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I can feel it. Come on, you piece of shit. Here we go. These are the areas where I'm looking for a potential bottom to form, okay? The kind of 36 to 38, 39 region or 42 to 45. I would much rather this than this. This is way scarier to me because we're below that weekly swing low. Here, we're at that weekly swing low. Here, we're below it, okay? Another thing to consider, Maine's about to throw on an indicator. Everyone freak the fuck out. Is we're not even really oversold yet on the daily, right? Like if you go to the weekly, right? What's scary is the weekly is just coming out of overbought, right? So like you want to, like when the bottom is in, right? Look where the weekly was when the bottom was in here. Look where the weekly was when the top was in, right? Look where the RSI weekly was when the bottom was in. This is not what you want to see on the weekly RSI if the bottom is in. The RSI is still way the fuck up here, right? So something to keep in mind, right? Daily, we're just getting towards the bottom. 12-hour, we're just creeping into there. And then obviously, are we getting a bounce here? Why are we getting a bounce? Well, on the low time frame, we're entering kind of oversold, bearish divergence kind of territory, right? Where we're right? I don't even know why it's doing that line, but we are getting a little bit of a bullish divergence here, kind of, tiny bit here, right? But maybe we get one more spike, 3 drives, right? One more higher low, and then some relief. Who fucking knows? But the bottom line is the weekly RSI is not really where you want it to be for the bottom to be in. I want the RSI to be way fucking down here when we're here. And so just looking at the weekly, if you use the RSI, and I'm not an RSI expert by any means, I'm thinking we probably want the RSI much lower before for the bottom to be in. Even here, right? When we had like this pullback here, it didn't come oversold, but it was close, right? Like we're nowhere near there. And so maybe it's going to take another leg down to get that. And then who knows? But ideally, I've given you my plan on where I'm looking for this shit to bottom, okay? Doesn't look great on the weekly. Doesn't look great on the daily. It doesn't look good on pretty much any time frame. These are the areas that I'm watching to potentially, get the fuck out of this thing or bid the fuck out of it, right? Ideally, we stay above this low. Ideally, this is where the bottom forms. We can chop around here. Maybe we get a crazy wick down here, but I don't really want to see us close below here, okay? Hopefully, this is where it forms. We could come into here. I don't really want to see us trade. I really don't want us to close below here, and I really don't want to see us trade for a very long period of time below that previous all-time high, or else this becomes a big fucking deviation of that, and we're fucked. All right? So that's that. That's me for an hour straight yelling about Bitcoin. Now we'll get into some other fucking charts because it turns out Bitcoin is not the only trade out there, and there's a lot of altcoins that I'm fucking in, thank God, that don't look like complete dumpster fire bullshit. And yeah, so let's cover some of those. But I'm going to check the chat here. We have 650 people watching. I think that's an all-time high for the stream. So shout out to you guys. I really appreciate how much these streams have grown. I have videos from like 2017, 2018, where I had like 5 people watching. So to have literally 100 times that right now is super cool. So thank you. All right. I'm going to quickly check on the chat. Then we're going to look at some altcoins, and I'm going to pump up the hopium levels because there's some altcoins that look really good. We're going to cover them. And if you guys just want a long shit, we're going to find some altcoins that you can just smash the green button because no one likes pressing the red button. Red is bad. Red is negative. Green is good. Right? Green is good. Apes. We're apes. We like green. We want to smash green. So let's go find some shit that we can press the green button on. Okay, quickly going to check the chat here, guys. Bear with me, and then we'll get right back into the charts. Okay, I'm not going to be able to... You guys are going... You bunch of wild boys. You guys are going ham in here. Okay. Who is the trader you watch and learn from that you mentioned in Up Only? The Inner Circle Trader is a guy I learned a lot from. Do you still have your Litecoin? Yes. If you follow me on Twitter, I made a tweet about Litecoin yesterday. What do I mean by breaking market structure? Hopefully you can rewatch that section of the video and that question gets answered for you because I covered exactly what I mean by that, right? If we have a close below a swing low that generated a high, candle close below, that's a break in market structure. Vice versa for the upside, right? Could you explain AB equals CD price movements? No, I cannot because I do not use Elliott Wave. I don't use harmonics or none of that shit. That's not how I trade, so I'm not the person to ask. Don't short the bottom and long the top. I completely agree, Charles. I couldn't have said it better myself. Straight facts, says a fucking lot. Say fucking a lot and you'll make it. Exactly. Thanks, bro. Yard work now. What do you think of NVT? I don't know. I'll have to take a look. So you're saying we're possibly in a bearish. I don't even know what that means, but the market structure on the daily is bearish. Yes. I'm in one of your streams a couple weeks ago. I said bull market equal dips are bought until further notice, and now I think it's kind of not that time anymore. Well, I hope you're wrong there, Hypnotoad. Also, massive divergence we had in the weekly RSI for a long time. Yeah, we had a huge bear div printing for ages, right? I'll look at SRM. You said you use candle closes, but all examples are on wicks. No, so I use wicks to denote the market structure levels, but the market structure is only broken when a candle closes through the wick. Okay? So market structure is the low, the swing low to the swing high. Until a candle closes through one of these levels, the market structure is still intact. So when you look at the daily, the last swing low that generated a new high is from here, right, to here. Once we had a candle close through there, now the market structure is bearish, okay? We are losing the weekly 21 MA. This never happens in a BTC bull rally. Well, that sounds not good. I don't really use MAs, though. I do know that, for example, if we do one of these, moving average, and we do this, that 200-day MA that everyone loves to talk about, right, lines up with my lower support level right around 38K. So let's imagine we have another little rally here and then a sell-off. This will probably move up closer to these levels here. So there you go. There's your MA sauce. Not something I personally use, though. How do you shave a mustache by accident? I was trying to just trim it, and I trimmed a little too much. Had to let the whole thing go, or else I was going to look like Hitler. Do you scalp low time frame sometimes, like the 5-minute? Yes, I do. Cardano has gone mental, and I wish I owned more of it. Do you think today's sell-off was done by institution or retailers? I don't really do that kind of analysis. So I know there's people who will be like, okay, based on the premium and spot, the premium between spot and derivatives, Coinbase is selling and derivatives are longing. That means, spot is selling off, apes are longing, institutional selling, blah, blah, blah. Or they'll look at inflows and outflows, and they'll look at all this shit and they'll say, therefore, big institutions are forcing apes to short, whatever it is. I don't really do that kind of analysis. I think there's extreme value in it. I know some people who are amazing traders who use that to nail entries and flow and shit like that. It's just not part of my edge. The problem I find with traders is there's information overload. You have all of these things. You have price action, you have indicators, you have fundamentals, you have inflows and outflows from that quant guy, right? That crypto quant guy. You have tracking the spot and derivatives premiums. You have all of these different things that you can use. And people will just add. And it gets to a point where their chart looks like fucking, a rainbow and a glitter bomb went off. But is any of it actionable? Can you make a decision based on all that information, right? So you need to have a system where if X, Y, and Z happens, you do this. And you make a decision. It's all fine and dandy to say, well, this is bullish, this is bullish, this is bullish. Okay, can you enter a trade based on all that info? Do you know where your entry is? Do you know where your stop is? Do you know where your target is? Without those things, you got nothing. You can be great at determining direction, but if you don't know how to get in the trade, it's fucking pointless. So most people I know that use a lot of indicators and stuff, they still use price action to help figure out their entries and exits and invalidations and shit. Personally, I primarily focus on price action, and that's all I need. I don't really need to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't want to add too many things to counteract what I do that works. The perfect example is here. I fudded myself out of a short because of X, Y, and Z when it's like, well, the price action said short it. Short it. Who cares what anything else says, right? So sometimes less is more. I'm not saying that stuff is wrong, just not something I personally use. With that neck, did you play rugby? I did play rugby. I was a scrum half. Neck perp when? I don't know. I got to hit up our boy Almeida, Sam, and we'll see if he's down. How do you feel about on-chain data? Hopefully I just answered that question. Is Zay a good buy? I've never heard of it. I don't know. Vitalik burned 90% of Shiba Inu. Yeah, that was crazy. So I don't know. Is that bullish? Do you hate Vitalik now? I don't know. I think it's kind of a scumbag move because, yes, he donated the money to charity, but the people whose money he donated was a bunch of brand new fucking traders who don't know shit about anything and were making money on this dog coin, and they got wrecked. right? So you kind of feel bad for them being like, well, he kind of forced their hand and fucked them and took their money and then donated it to charity, being like, I'm not the bad guy. But then on the flip side, I go, okay, well, you invested in a coin called Shiba Inu because Dogecoin was pumping, and the logo of Dogecoin is a Shiba Inu. You know, I'm not saying you deserve to lose money, but like, what the fuck did you expect? It's not going to go up forever. Eventually, it's going to crash, right? You're kind of gambling. I don't use the weekly EMA, so I don't know. Well, we'll find out if Asia's going to dump in about fucking 20 minutes. Where does Elon go from here? I don't know. Probably back to being the fucking one of the richest people in the world. I think he's not losing any sleep over this. Do you own any Cope? No, I don't own any Cope, and I'm coping about it. I missed out on the airdrop. I think Cyril is a ledge. Awesome dude. Peter McCormick thread caused the dump. It would be pretty funny if Peter McCormick and all those Bitcoin maxis who were the bottom on FBTC also end up being the top on fucking Bitcoin. It would be hilarious. Do you talk about XRP and XLM? I will talk about them. I just sold all my ETH thinking it will continue to drop. I got 10K. Should I rebuy ETH or split with DOT? I don't fucking know, bro. Which chart? Buy shit that's bullish. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Come on. Mind defining OTE, it stands for optimal trade entry. Bull market over if the EMA, I don't use that EMA. Sol and SRM looking good. We will cover some alts, guys. Don't worry. Would love to look at alts. I'll look at those. Your cat just died, and we just accidentally slow cooked it for dinner. Oops, that is weird. I like XLM. I've been shilling XLM for like 5 days now, and it's mooning, so... something about Matic. Should I buy it now? Guys, I'm never going to tell you if you should buy or sell something. Okay? So stop asking. If you're selling like, what should I buy? What should I do with my money? None of this is financial advice. Okay? I'm just a random dude on the fucking internet telling you what I think about the market. What you end up doing is 100% up to you. It's your money that you're putting at risk, not mine. And I have no interest in telling you to buy and sell. And I think anyone who tells you to buy and sell, like outside of being like, hey, what you have to realize is on Twitter, everyone is talking their own book. No one is posting a chart going, I think this is a good long without already being long, okay? People are talking their own book, and that's what you need to realize, right? Like I go on there and I post things that are bullish that I'm hoping are bullish because I'm probably long or I'm short or whatever. And that's true for pretty much everyone on there. Right? So if people are being like, hey, long this chart, it looks good, that probably means that they're in it already, right? So keep that in fucking mind and realize I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your financial advisor. You should not take fucking signals from anyone. You need to be doing your own analysis, making your own decisions. That way, if it works out, guess who gets congratulated? You. If it doesn't work out, guess who gets the blame? It's you, no one else. Okay? Thanks for sharing. You're welcome. Maine is extra American today. Okay. I am from Canada. Okay. What the fuck here? Jesus Christ. Blah, blah, blah. There's so much going on here in the chat, guys. I'm not going to be able to keep up. All right, let's just get into the fucking into the alts, okay? Because I'll be reading the fucking chat all day. There's so many fucking tweets in here or messages. Someone asked about a daily SFP. I don't see one. We literally could not make a daily SFP unless we wick below here and then close. But this is not a daily SFP. There's no SFP forming here. Maybe there. Maybe we can close as a 12-hour SFP of that level. But we would have to close $800 higher than we are now. All right. Let's get into other fucking coins. Let's talk about some altcoins, okay? So, Ethereum BTC has gone absolutely mental. So this thing basically did a fucking 2x. Straight into monthly resistance, and this is kind of where you would expect it to cool off, right? And we've talked about this in previous videos. Obviously, this is a huge range, right? So you can't just blind, I mean, you could short this, you know, technically, right? What would shorting this be? You're either shorting this on like BitMEX, or you're selling Ethereum and you're buying Bitcoin. That would be effectively shorting this pair. But you could technically short this with like a stop here, right? And you're shorting it into here, hoping that this has some sort of mean reversion. But crazy move, basically three huge green expansion, well, two huge expansion candles, right? This is resistance. It doesn't mean that it can't go higher, but this is an area where we can start to look for weakness. The monthly gives you basically no data to go off of, but if you start zooming in, what you will see is on the lower time frames, we're starting to show potential weakness. I'm not saying that it's over, but we're starting to see some potential signs of weakness here. And we can also look for potential signs of strength to get an idea if this thing is going to leg up again or not, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out two more levels here. Okay, and then we're going to zoom in. Weekly, nothing doing. Pretty much nothing doing until we get down to the daily. Notice that level that I marked out from like 2017. This is a 2018 level. Look at what happened right at that level. Capped price, broke above. Now we're respecting it with a wick here. So looking at the daily on FBTC, if this uptrend is going to continue, you want to see this daily bullish order block confluent with high time frame support and resistance hold. You want to see this level hold and us have another leg up. So is there a chance that ETH goes to all-time high from here? Yeah, there is. It's not necessarily over. Can it get a lot uglier? Of course, right? But we're just saying, what are the scenarios? How can I make my decisions? All the high time frames are still bullish. Nothing is bearish about this chart yet. It's into high time frame resistance. So now we want to be aware of a potential for the trend to change. It has not changed yet, okay? We are now retesting this daily bullish order block, right? So if we just get a green candle like this, FUSD is going to pump, right? But I don't know if we will. That's what we're looking for here. So we have a daily bullish order block here that price is wicked into and is respecting for now. We'll now drill in even further, and you can see on the H12, I'm just going to delete these high time frame levels. You can see how fucking key they are based on, look at the price respect. Boom, boom, boom. That's clutch, okay? But I'm just going to clean it up a little bit here, okay? We've got a 12-hour order block here. The move up, broke market structure, return to origin. So if you're a bull on ETH, this is what you want to see happen. You want to see a new high. Higher highs, higher lows, right? That's what we want to see, okay? So good reaction so far. Still too early to tell. Still parabolic as fuck, right? This has not shown any signs of slowing down yet. This could just be this. Boop, boom, boop, boop, right? Like we can still just rip from here, okay? So this is what we're watching on Ethereum BTC. We're within that monthly bearish order block, but that monthly bearish order block top, you got to remember, is way the fuck up here. So we could see another 10% move to the upside on this thing and still be within that monthly bearish order block where we could potentially see a reversal. But nothing on here yet is telling me that we are reversing. Where would I probably want to not be in Ethereum? Okay. Right now, I'm loving this reaction. If we simply lose this, right? So deviate, okay? We've rejected from there. If we now have some sort of breakdown from here, this is when you want to start considering shorting this on an exchange that allows it, like a BitMEX, or trading ETH back for BTC. Because what will this mean? Like, let's assume you're not interested in going into Tether or stables at all. You want to, if this rolls over, this is the next area of support, right? Because this will get filled in. right? If we flip this bearishly, I'm pretty confident. I don't know anything for sure, obviously, but I'm pretty confident that we will see a pullback into here. So that is a long, kind of a pretty significant range in that BTC could outperform ETH. Now, does that mean that both of them are going up or both of them going down? It doesn't mean either. It just means that in this period of time, ETH will be weaker than BTC. So if you had to hold one, you would want to hold BTC, right? If Ethereum holds here and goes like this, even if Bitcoin and Ethereum USD are going down, your money would be better off in Ethereum because Ethereum would be going down less, and vice versa for the other way. If we do this, and then this is going down and this is going down, BTC will be going down less than Ethereum because this fraction, right, will be getting weaker, okay? So nothing to freak out quite yet on ETH. This is resistance here, right? This is your monthly bearish order block, so keep that in mind. But we do have some respect of this level for now. What I would like to see is a reclaim of this high. If we can reclaim this high, I think this will go and make a new high. I think that's probably bullish overall, but we don't fucking know what's gonna happen for sure, right? So keep the door open, realizing that there is a chance that this has some sort of pullback, some sort of mean reversion before continuing up, whatever. Okay. So Ethereum BTC, still bullish for now. It's holding market structure on the H12. If you zoom in, you will find bearish market structure, right? If you go on a low enough time frame, you will find bearish market structure. And this is where it gets tricky, right? Where it's like, okay, well, the 1 hour is bearish, right? Look at this weird ass price action. But the 1 hour is bearish, right? You have lower highs, lower lows. This could be a lower high, and then boom. And then this would be your 12-hour market structure break here, okay? But this could be bearish on the 1 hour, right? But then it could just do one of these. And you're going to say, well, what the fuck? The 1 hour was bearish, but the high time frame was bullish. So within a 12-hour uptrend, there's going to be multiple little 1 hour downtrends, right? But it's still, the order flow on the high time frame is still bullish. And as long as that's the case, we're fine, right? But you have to be aware, like when you're trying to time the reversals and shit, right? And that goes both ways. Do you want to know if this 12-hour order block is going to hold? Well, if we break that high that I mentioned, what is also at that high? A swing high on the hourly. So hourly market structure would be bullish in line with 12-hour. That's a high confidence play. All right, so 12 hours still holding for now. Keep in mind that this is kind of the area I'm watching. Downside target would be here. Upside target is going to be fucking, kind of probably up here if this holds and we can reclaim there. So do what you want with that information. I'm not trading this pair myself, right? But I'm going to be determining if I want my BTC in Ethereum or in BTC based on this chart, right? And you're also going to want to use this chart versus other altcoins to determine this chart is obscenely bullish, right? Like for a long time, right? For basically since the start of April, you wanted your money in Ethereum. That was it. Other charts were not like your chart, your coin might be outperforming Bitcoin, right? Look at LTC BTC. It outperformed Bitcoin from the start of April, right? But it did not outperform ETH from the start of April. So at the start of April, your money was better in LTC versus BTC, but it was better in ETH versus LTC. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense because that's very fucking important to understand. All right? So this is a chart you're going to want to pay attention to, and you're also going to want to be looking against your alts, not just against Bitcoin, but also against ETH, because if ETH decides it has another leg up in it, you want to make sure your altcoin is outperforming ETH, because if it's not, you're in the wrong fucking coin. Doesn't mean you can't make money, but you could be more money having your money somewhere else. All right. Let's look at Ethereum USD. Okay, we've got no price history because we're fucking way past all-time high. You know, this chart has gone fucking ballistic, right? Does this remind you of anything? Kind of looks like this, doesn't it? Huge upper wick here. Monstrous upper wick. Daily market structure, you know, weekly market structure is nothing. I mean, obviously, ugly looking weekly candle there for now. But that can all change very quickly. 3-day chart, literally the next support on the 3-day is way the fuck down here, which is terrifying, right? Way down here to kind of like, you know, the mid to low 2000s would be support on the 3-day. And I would buy this. I'm not saying that we're going here, but if we did, like, you have to take a punt. You pretty much have to, or else you're not going to make it. Zooming in even more, on the daily, we have something to work with here. And on the 12-hour, same shit, right? This is all the same. So I would just take the daily, and I would probably block off this entire area as kind of your do or die. I mean, you could use just this, technically. This is the daily order block, but I kind of like this entire area as kind of SR, because if you zoom in, you know, you can see this consolidation is key. This entire kind of little, you know, consolidation here is key. So I would make it a little bit bigger. I wouldn't just include that, just the order block alone, but you can. It's up to you, right? But whatever you do consistently. You know, this is probably where you want to see Ethereum hold. What's good is you have this coming into support, and you have this. You have this coming into support at the same time, right? So retesting support. So that's a potentially good sign, potentially bullish sign, right? We want to hold here. Maybe we get a really nice SFP here, right? On the daily. Daily closes in 5 minutes, looking kind of likely that this might close as a bullish SFP into demand, right? That's a good sign. That's bullish. So this is area number 1 for F bottom. So you know how I laid out the bottom potential areas for Bitcoin? 1, 2, right? This is area number 1 for F to bottom. Area number 2 is this big old baddie down here, which I do not want to go to. It's possible, but I would much rather us close here as opposed to here. So these are kind of the 2 areas to watch for Ethereum. Ethereum's been on a mega fucking run. It's been on a mega fucking run. It's literally 2x'd in Bitcoin value in the last month and a half. And it hit like 4,300 and it went up like $1,300. Like, what was the monthly close? The monthly close here was 2,700, and then the high of May was 4,300. So it went up almost $2,000 in 1 month per 1 Ethereum, and it doubled in Bitcoin value. So anyone who is like, fuck ETH is whack, whatever, idiots, because ETH has been insanely bullish for this entire fucking run and has outperformed Bitcoin on multiple occasions. In Bitcoin value, it's appreciated massively, and in dollar value, it's appreciated massively. So Ethereum is chat as fuck, okay? It's the bottom line. Ethereum is also being used all the time. All of DeFi, all that shit is built on Ethereum, right? So area of support for Ethereum, area of support number 2 is here. So hopefully we hold here. Let's just see where that 200 MA is, just out of curiosity. Way the fuck down here, right? So obviously who fucking knows, but like if this were to sell off further, maybe this, you know, kind of comes up and lines up there. I don't know. But I'm hoping that we just hold here. That's the ideal scenario. Hold here, resume up only, excuse me. But otherwise, down here. Okay? LTC, my baby. My poor, sweet baby. You know, listen, I'm still bullish, baby. I'm still bullish on Litecoin for higher prices. Assuming Bitcoin doesn't die, assuming the bull run doesn't fucking end completely and we go back to fucking 20K or whatever, I still think there's hope for Litecoin to get to like $600. Okay? I will check the BTC close, guys. I'm paying attention. We will watch the weekly close in 2 minutes. Okay? So let's start with LTC BTC. Okay? This chart has been the roadmap. This has been all you need to track. And it's still relevant. I think it's still good. Obviously, we need to figure out what the fuck Bitcoin is doing before we determine, is this bull run over and are all these altcoins fucked? A lot of altcoin Bitcoin ratios, including this one, still look so good and still have barely moved off the bottom. It makes me think like, okay, is this bull run ending because some of these altcoins still have so much room to go, right? I mean, look at all the fucking hype and complaining today about how bearish we are, and we're gonna close down 0.5%. Isn't that nuts? Anyways, it must be everyone on leverage. Who would have thought? So this has barely fucking moved. And so part of my thesis for the bull run not being over is so many alt BTC pairs have barely moved. Some have mooned. FBTC has mooned. Cardano has fucking mooned. But there's so many that have barely fucking moved. I don't know. I don't know. Part of me just thinks like, dude, I don't know if the bull run can end with some of these alt BTC. Because if the bull run's over, LTC is fucked. It's fucked. If this is all it mustered during this bull run, maybe it goes a little higher. It's like, it's over, right? Like, of course, over time, LTC is never going to get back to here. It's never going to get back to there because Bitcoin has appreciated so much and LTC is effectively useless. But you would think it has at least some kind of a fucking market cycle in here, and it hasn't yet. So we'll talk about this chart more in depth in 1 second. Here is our weekly close. So let's just delete everything for a second here. So weekly closed below this swing low. So that's not great. Not a good sign, right? Just like I don't like closing below here. It's not, this is my market structure level, but if you were to use, it's gonna make me do this again, isn't it? If you were to use these as market structure, okay, there's your high, then this becomes your low. We've now broken down again, right? So sell the next bounce, right? That kind of lines up with the daily breaking down. So not the greatest look, right? The high time frame still looks shitty. If we could have closed the weekly above here, that would have been a better look than closing it where we did. Because now we've closed below a weekly low. Would have been better if we closed further up, obviously. But didn't happen. Zoom into the daily, right? We've got a confirmed market structure break. We had another daily close below that same weekly swing low. There is no SFP. Did this SFP? It did. So we did swing failure pattern this low into this. So you want your hopium? There's your hopium for a bounce. Swing failure pattern of this low into this daily demand, right? That's your hopium for at least some relief. You zoom in. We probably want to reclaim here. We probably want to reclaim here if we're going to have significant relief, right? Because we could just do one of these, right? But ideally, we get one of these, and then we can get some serious relief. But like, I'm shorting this for sure. Shorting that for sure. And then obviously on a flip of this, you get fucking hype. But you got to be prepared, right? This market structure is not bullish. So any sort of bounce from here, the expectation is a lower high. You have to keep that in mind. Okay? You look at the daily, right? Where's our market structure on the daily? This is a level you're going to want to watch. What does that look like on the lower time frame? It's right there, right? So if we have some sort of SFP of that level, that is a big time short, right? That's a big time short. You pull your fib from here to here. This is probably right around the EQ, maybe the 0.62. That would be a big time short if we SFP'd that level. If we got a daily close through here, that would be pretty bullish, I think. So daily close above about 51,500, let's call it. That would be sweet. Little daily SFP into demand. Let's see if we can do anything with it. I don't know. We're kind of selling off to start the day. Let's see. Let us see. Our daily open is right here. So we'll come back to this, but we're gonna go back to LTC here. We'll do this. We'll do this. Here's our daily open right here. So obviously, if we're bullish, right, what do we want to see? Low time frame, right? If we're bullish, we want to see probably a move down and then a reclaim of the daily open. If we're going to have a bullish kind of, you know, Sunday, Monday. If we just sell off super hard from here, or if we pop up and then get back below, that's probably not good. So let's wait and see what comes next here. Too early to tell, in my opinion. God, I like it a whole lot better when it just goes up, man. I like it a whole lot better. Okay, so I'm going to look at Litecoin, Bitcoin here, Litecoin USD, then we'll look at some altcoins that I like, and then we'll wrap it up. We're already an hour and a half deep. I'm going to take a quick pee. I'll be right back, and we'll continue on. I'm back. Sorry about that. Oh, God. We're dumping. Okay. So, let's look at Litecoin, Bitcoin. God. Just go up, you piece of shit slut. So, Litecoin, Bitcoin. We're looking at the weekly. Right? So I've had this chart for fucking God knows how long, and basically I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for it to break out, and finally did. Right? So I've been mentioning that Litecoin kind of does this thing where it sells off for fucking ever and then just fucking launches, right? And that's kind of what happened here. Sells off forever, and then boom, we're finally breaking out of this downtrend. We had a huge move up to like 420 or something on Litecoin, whatever it was. I forget what the exact high was. What was it? 414 on this. I could have sworn it hit 420 on some exchanges. But I mentioned we're coming into resistance on the LTC BTC pair. So when you're trading an altcoin, if the LTC BTC, if the altcoin BTC pair is not in price discovery yet, you can look at the BTC pair to determine where the USD pair, which might be in price discovery, like with Ethereum, like with Litecoin, where it might cool off and find some resistance. And so I'd mentioned we're coming into weekly resistance here, but we did make 100% plus move off the lows. So we're into resistance here, pretty straightforward. Flip this, I think we're going here. Any sort of pullback, I think, is a long. So I'm still bullish for Litecoin based on this chart. We've had a weekly break in market structure here. Okay, and we've had another weekly break in market structure here on just now, right? So weekly bullish market structure on the BTC pair and the USD pair is coming into support. So I still think Litecoin has some legs. Obviously, it's going to be contingent upon Bitcoin itself. If Bitcoin dies, the whole market is going to die. I don't care. Everything will die. If Bitcoin goes back to 20K, everything's fucked. But assuming Bitcoin is going to consolidate, maybe pull back, maybe go low, but not be dead, and then eventually go sideways and back up, I think there's still room for Litecoin as well as some other alts. And one of my pieces of bullishness remains because so many of these alt BTC pairs have barely fucking moved. Maybe that does mean that Bitcoin is done and we're going to see alt season and a bunch of these alts are going to pop off. I don't really know. I'm not in the prediction game. I'm more so just saying, okay, where are levels where I can look for longs? This is a bullish chart. As much as this looks like shit here, this is high time frame bullish market structure forming. You've got a low, right? You've got a high, you've got a higher low, and you've got a higher high on the weekly, right? So this can take forever to play out, but I'm hoping it plays out more kind of like one of these fucking big ass moves here, right? Like I'm hoping we just get a big fucking move to the upside on this pair. So still in my Litecoin bag. I obviously sold some of it, but I still own a lot of Litecoin. I still don't hate how this chart looks. Obviously, LTC versus Ethereum doesn't look that great yet or at all. So, you know, your money was better off in Ethereum and has been for a while. If LTC Ethereum can reclaim this low, there might be a period of time where LTC outperforms Ethereum. Okay? So that's that. That's LTC BTC. Looking at LTC USD, right? This is that big weekly move we saw on the BTC pair. Looking at this here, we have our demand. Obviously, this is a huge zone. I'm fucking aware. But we are breakout higher high on the weekly, right? Higher high above all-time high, higher high above here. This is bullish market structure on the weekly chart. So Bitcoin looks like a pile of dog shit, bearish market structure. LTC just made a higher high on the weekly, right? So something to keep in mind. Higher high on the weekly on LTC. So I'm biased to look for longs in here based on the BTC chart, the LTC BTC chart being bullish, and this chart being bullish high time frame. Okay, so I don't think it's over for LTC yet. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another fucking leg. This thing hasn't even gone parabolic yet, and I'd be very surprised if the bull run ends and LTC doesn't hit like 600 or 1,000. It would just, I just don't think that that's the case. Can I be wrong? Absolutely. Am I talking my book? Yes. I own a lot of LTC, so I am bull biased. Let me be very clear about that. Okay. Oh my God. My Raylong is above water. It's above water. Let's go. I've been drowning for 3 days. Let's go. All right. We're going to look at XRP. We're going to look at Ripple. We're going to look at Ripple here because Ripple, I think, is actually quite interesting. So I'm going to look at XRP USD, XRP BTC, and we're also going to look at XRP Ethereum. All right. So XRP USD. I drew this. I don't even know when, but seems like that's super smart. Okay, let's just delete everything here. Where are these levels from? Probably that high. The daily? Are these daily fucking levels? I don't even care. Okay, fuck it. All right. Looking at the monthly. Right? This is the first level that jumps out at me is $2. Right? Remember how I talked about how that weekly close was important here? Same thesis, same idea. Weekly close, weekly open, boom. So that seems like the draw for LT for this. If it's going to continue going up, the draw is here. Looking at the weekly, we have formed a bullish weekly order block here, and we're consolidating inside it right now. Okay? Zooming in again. I don't hate this action. I really don't. You've got your level here, okay? Came in, tested, moved away. Now you've got your level here. Came in, tested, needs to move away now. So low time frame on Ripple here, cripple the Ripple, right? We've kind of got some sort of, you know, triangle pattern kind of thing forming, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Really what I want to see is just a move up, right? I want to see this area hold, and I want to see a move up towards $2. Once we cross $2, next level I would probably look at, probably there, but let's see if there's a little one somewhere else. Maybe here. Probably here. Okay. So came in, tested support, SFP, want to see this move up now to 2, flip to 250. Okay. Why do I think this might go up? Well, technically, this has still got bullish market structure on the daily, right? Here is your daily range on Ripple. It's here, right? And here. So we're in this daily range still, right? So I'm hoping that this is the low, okay? And we push up. We had an SFP into demand. We moved away. Can we come back here and test it again? Ideally, I want this low to hold. But I think this can go up. Obviously, again, what is Bitcoin going to do? All that shit. If it fucking completely nukes, that could be bad for obviously everything. But I like the XRP BTC chart a fair amount. As you can see, we're moving up towards the target I'd put here. I don't even remember when I did this. But we had talked about a move up here, and we're seeing that. We had talked about this move a couple streams ago. We talked about this initial move, and we're continuing to push up. So if you look at this on the super high time frame, similar to LTC, right? This is put in a weekly higher high, right? Weekly higher high. Could it completely reverse and nuke? Of course. Anything is fucking possible. But we've got a weekly higher high here on XRP. All right, BTC, into demand. So we're into this demand. Okay. Every time it's come in here, we've gotten some sort of interaction, but we've yet to see that big fucking parabolic move like one of these on Ripple. Same as on Litecoin. So I don't hate this, right? Weekly higher high, zoom into the daily. The daily is putting in bullish market structure above support. So you have an SR flip here, okay? Where we're resistance, right? I mean, resistance kind of went through it, deviated, but this is a clear level here where this is the breakdown level. We're now trading above it. Daily bullish market structure break, okay? So we have a daily bullish market structure break. We're consolidating above a key level here. So the idea is that this goes up. What does that mean? That doesn't necessarily mean that XRP USD will go up. It probably will, but it does mean that XRP is going to outperform Bitcoin. And it looks like it wants to outperform Bitcoin. And it has been outperforming Bitcoin since March, right? It's been outperforming Bitcoin for the most part for the last couple of months. So I don't hate how this chart looks. I think this has another leg up coming. So I'm bullish XRP BTC. I'm semi-bullish XRP USD. And what I really like is XRP Ethereum. Looks like it could be putting in a low. So if you look here on the weekly, Ethereum's been just smashing XRP for ages. We got a weekly higher high. We've got a retest of a weekly order block that caused a weekly higher high. Boom. So I'm actually looking for XRP to now start potentially outperforming Ethereum. So if you're looking at where you want to allocate your capital right now, because just because Bitcoin is going down, it doesn't mean you have to sit in Tether, right? If Bitcoin is going down, but you can find an alt BTC pair that's bullish, you can get more Bitcoin even though Bitcoin's going down. So yes, you might be down in USD value, but if you believe that Bitcoin's going to 100K one day or whatever it is, or that the bull run is not over, you want more Bitcoin, right? Like, yes, let's say you sold one Bitcoin at 60K and you rebought it at 40K, right? You've now made $20,000. So that one Bitcoin that you buy back at 40K, you're going to be able to buy 1.5 Bitcoin. So you had one, now you bought 1.5. But instead of going to Tether, if you would have switched your Bitcoin from 60,000 to Ethereum, and Ethereum BTC did a 2x while Bitcoin traded down to 40, which is effectively what's happened here, you now have twice as much Bitcoin. Yes, the Bitcoin is worth less, but you now have 2 Bitcoins when you started with 1. And those 2 Bitcoins at 40K are more than what you would have had if you just sold to Tether. So there are things that you can do from like a capital rotation perspective. Where are you keeping your crypto without having to go to stables? Obviously, there's always the solution. Go to Tether, go to USDC, go to BUSD, whatever. Open a 1x short. You can always do that. But if you don't want to sell your crypto and you don't want to hold Bitcoin through a 30+% pullback, look for an alt BTC pair that's bullish, and you can park some Bitcoin there and mitigate some of that downside with the appreciation that you're going to see in the alt BTC pair. And that's exactly what I'm kind of predicting happening on XRP. And what I like about XRP Ethereum is it also looks like it's potentially putting in a bottom for me. So if this is a bottom, we've got low, high, higher low, higher high, potential higher low. So what am I looking for on this thing? I'm looking for this thing to do this. And if that's the case, you're going to see an appreciation in XRP USD, XRP BTC, XRP Ethereum. The asset XRP is going to do well. So I'm kind of bullish on Ripple right now, as much as I hate to say it. It looks pretty fucking good to me relative to some other coins. Some other coins look much worse, right? Like this has barely run. This has barely run, right? Whereas you look at Ethereum BTC and it's like, okay, well, this thing went crazy. Can this go higher? Yes, but I think it's time for some other coins to play catch up. Another coin I'm really bullish on that I shared is XLM, right? Because this is one where it's barely run and it often runs with XRP. It's come into weekly resistance here, but it looks, and it's closed as a higher high. So we now have a higher high on the weekly after a huge consolidation, right? This is 2 years of sideways. What happened when F did that? This was even longer, right? 800 days of sideways, expansion. So my entire thesis is essentially 2 years of sideways, and we just made a higher high. I'm expecting this thing to go fucking up and expand, which means the USD pair will probably do very well. And my Bitcoin, which is decreasing in value versus USD right now, at least if I have some XLM that I've traded Bitcoin for, my BTC value is increasing. So I'm going to have more Bitcoin. I'm up in sats, might be down in USD, but I'm up in sats, right? So XLM, super fucking bullish. We're in a weekly resistance here, so it can pull back, but to me, this looks like it's primed for expansion, okay? And the USD pair looks very similar to Litecoin to me in that it hasn't, kind of gone crazy yet. We had a higher high here on the weekly. We're retesting demand. If the BTC pair goes ham, I'm expecting this to go up as well. All right. So we're at an hour and 53 minutes. So I'm going to cover a couple more altcoins. I see a lot of people in the chat asking me about shit coins. They're asking me about BSC coins. The reason they're called shit coins because you trade them on PooCoin, or you chart them on PooCoin at least. So what I want to say about PooCoins, okay? Because if you've been following me, I've tweeted about a couple PooCoins in the past, and the one thing I want to be careful with these things, okay, is obviously these are the three that I've talked about openly on Twitter. I've invested in more than these, but these are the three that I've talked about on Twitter. Okay, so I know a lot of people are chucking a ton of money into these fucking BSC coins. So I completely understand why, because some of them are going absolutely fucking nuts, and you can turn one BNB into a lot. So what I would say is a point of kind of warning, obviously, is these are extremely low cap. And there's a lot of risk, right? So don't go into these with your fucking retirement fund, right? The way that I'm trading these, because I use risk reward for everything, even if it's a PooCoin, right? Because you're trading on PancakeSwap, you can't put in a stop, right? So I go into these trades with a theory that essentially whatever BNB I'm putting in, that's my risk. That's my stop out. So if I put in one BNB, which is $600, that's my stop out. If this thing goes to zero, I lost $600. But if it does a 10x, I've made $6,000. That's a 6-to-1 risk reward, right? That's how I trade these. That's how I would suggest you probably should do it too. You can try and buy the dip and sell the rips and manage it, blah, blah, blah. But like, don't go into this thing. A lot of these are rug pulls. A lot of these are scams. So you've got to be careful. But the ones that I've invested in, I'll tell you kind of what I liked about them, and then what I look for when I'm investing in these. But keep that in mind. This is extremely risky stuff, obviously, because these coins can get spun up relatively quickly. So go into it realizing that whatever you put in, you might lose it all. And when you go in with that mindset, there's not really an issue, right? So, and the upside's massive. I've made a bunch of money on some of these, right? So what I look for is generally the chart has to look somewhat good. And you want to see an active Telegram. You want to see an active Twitter. You want to see the price looking good. You obviously want the market cap to be going up. And you want to see the number of holders. So if you click here on the right, it'll take you to the BSC scan. You want to see the number of holders increasing as well, because that generally means that there are more people buying the coin consistently. And you want to see there not be any whales. If you open up the BSC scan for the coin that you just punted a BNB and like two wallets hold 30% of the supply, not a good coin, right? You want the supply to be spread out so no one can rug pull on you. But go into every situation realizing that these can go to zero. The ones that I like right now, obviously you guys have seen me talk about Pube. I still hold Pube. That did a multiple X from when I first mentioned it. I think it did like a 10X. Save the World did more than a 10X from when I mentioned it, but it's also, I mentioned it down here. It went absolutely nuts, but now it's basically full retraced. The newest one that I'm in is called X Doge or Star Doge. The chart looks okay. The market cap is 3.5 million. They've got an active Telegram. The number of holders is growing. So I've put some money into this one. The chart still looks good. I've exited Save the World completely because the chart looks kind of wrecked. Maybe it bounces from here. I don't know. But the one thing you got to keep in mind is if Bitcoin shits the bed or pumps like crazy, I don't really know how that will affect the PooCoin, the shitcoin market, because I haven't been trading with them long enough. But there's your kind of disclaimer. Go into these things, realize, because I got a ton of people DMing me every day. Check out this coin, check out this coin, check out this coin. Those are the things I look for. Active community on Telegram, on Discord, on Twitter, growing number of holders, decent looking chart. Make sure that there's no whale holds all the supply. Those are going to be kind of the things that you want to look at. right? But you wanna go into it realizing that they are fucking risky, right? So this is one that I'm invested in. X Doge, Star Doge. I believe they give part of the money that they make to animal shelters. I love dogs. That's cool. It's got the Doge meme going for it, kind of like Shiba. So I'm bullish on this one, but obviously do your own research. These are fucking risky. So anyone in the chat who is asking about meme coins, there you go. So there. I don't really know what else to talk about here, guys. I feel like we covered a lot of ground. That is a 2-hour long stream. Feeling like there was a lot of information in here. Okay, DeFi coins, good point. I'll take a look at some DeFi. Let's look at my baby boy, Rune. So I'm super bullish on Rune. I am working on a YouTube video on Rune. It's in the works. So it's funny, right? I want to do this like YouTube video where I have like a script written out and I'm going to talk about certain things and cover certain shit. And I want it to be like under 10 minutes. But it's actually really hard. It's funny. I could do these 2-hour long streams like it's nobody's business, just off the top of the dome, rip it. But when it comes to like doing a pre-recorded video where I plan shit out and stuff, that's a lot fucking harder for me. I don't know why. But Rune is a coin I'm super bullish on. It's multi-chain. It's DeFi. Effectively, what Rune will do, the Chaos Net is just launching, it will allow you to use decentralized exchanges and exchange tokens for the actual token. So instead of on Uniswap, when you have Ethereum and you want to buy Bitcoin, you're not getting actual Bitcoin. You're getting wrapped Bitcoin, right? Rune will actually let you trade Bitcoin for Ethereum, which is super cool, or Ethereum for whatever. You can trade an asset for another actual asset as opposed to a wrapped version of the asset that's on whatever blockchain. It's multi-chain. So I think what they're doing is very cool. Fundamentally, it's got a lot going on, and the chart looks great. The BTC chart looks like it's just in a giga uptrend that is just picking up steam. And as much as Bitcoin is kind of fucking around today, the USD chart has held up surprisingly well. It made a new all-time high, and it's continuing to look bullish. We are consolidating above here, which I like, right? Breakout, consolidate above. Hopefully we get another leg up, right? So that looks really good. DeFi itself looks really good. And the reason I think DeFi looks good is because it has looked bad for so long, right? For the last handful of months, you've had Ethereum outperform basically everything, right? And you've had a lot of DeFi coins kind of look shitty, right? You have Sushi kind of looking shitty, right? And you've had Aave, right? Multiple months where it was kind of doing nothing. Now these are starting to perk up again. So what you're starting to see, I think, is a rotation out of just Ethereum and certain coins back into DeFi coins, which I think is great for obviously if you own any DeFi stuff like I do. So if you look at these coins, what you want to do is you want to compare them to Ethereum. And if your DeFi coin is outperforming Ethereum, that's a good sign, right? So this could, you can see Ethereum since basically the start of February has outperformed Aave, and this is the same chart for almost all DeFi Ethereum coins. They all look like this. They all look like Ethereum's been ripping their fucking shit, and they're finally looking like they might be getting some relief, right? So getting smoked by Ethereum, maybe we're getting some relief. So what you want to see are what coins are going to outperform Ethereum. And obviously you want them to outperform Bitcoin as well, right? So if you look at Aave ETH, it's starting to look bullish. If you look at Aave Bitcoin, right, looking kind of bullish, right? So you can, again, capital rotation. Where is your money best sat? Is it best in Bitcoin? Is it best in Ethereum? Is it best in Tether? Or can you find a bullish coin to put your money into as opposed to taking it out of the market completely and putting it into stables? I think the answer is yes, and I've shown you a few. Ripple, XRLM, Rune, Aave, Sushi. A lot of DeFi shit starts to look good. So you have to be analyzing all these different things at the same time and then make decisions based on, what is best for your portfolio. It's not easy managing all the moving parts. You got money on BSC, you got money on Uniswap, you've got your margin trading, you've got your stuff you've got on your Tether or on your Trezor or your Ledger, right? You've got all this fucking crypto fucking everywhere. It's a lot going on, and if you really want to maximize what you're doing, you want to try and find the best place to park that crypto at any given time in the market. And if we're seeing a big pullback on Bitcoin, there are bullish charts out there. This chart is bullish. So Bitcoin might be starting to look bearish. Unless this rejects right here and fucking completely nukes, I'm pretty sure this makes a new high, right? So does that mean that the bull run is over? Doesn't mean it doesn't matter. It does mean that if Bitcoin goes sideways or down, but this goes higher, you've appreciated versus Bitcoin. So you have more Bitcoin than when you started, right? Okay, I think that's enough for one day. This is that was a big stream. A lot of shit was covered. Hopefully you guys found some value in all of my ranting and raving for the last 2 hours. I think this was a good one. We had like 600 and something people at the peak, which is crazy. So thank you for all of y'all tuning in. I love seeing this stream grow every week. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on Twitter. Please join my Discord. It is completely free. Go to my Twitter bio, click on my link tree or one of my yats to join the Twitter or the Discord. Likes, retweets, comments, sharing the video really helps me out. I'm trying to grow this YouTube. I'm working really hard. I'm doing a shitload of videos for you guys. So I'd love to see this continue to grow. So please subscribe. Obviously, thank you to Bybit for helping me out. Use the link in the description if you want to join that trading competition that they have going on. Potentially win some free money. And yeah, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be back sometime this week with another video. And yeah, really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. And we will talk soon. Hopefully Bitcoin doesn't fucking dump on us. Fuck you.